You sit in the dim light of the briefing room. The air is cold and sterile. An old man in a pristine uniform stands before you. His name is General Thorne. He is giving you a mission that does not exist. A mission to find a ghost. He slides a data slate across the polished table. It shows a single repeating energy spike, a whisper in the dark. It is a signal no one has heard for 10 years. High Command believes it belongs to Admiral Valerius, the Ghost Admiral, the man who vanished with his entire fleet. They say he went rogue. They say the Vex destroyed him. The official record calls him a traitor. But the General believes otherwise. He believes the Admiral is still out there, and he is asking you to prove it. This is a one-way ticket to a court-martial, or worse, a lonely death in the void. But you were always good at impossible jobs. Besides, your career was already on a fast track to nowhere. You take the slate. The mission is yours. Your ship, the Stargazer, is a fine vessel. A long-range scout with more sensors than guns. Perfect for finding things that do not want to be found. You plot the signal's origin point. The course it lays out makes your blood run cold. It leads straight into the tenebrous expanse, a region of space forbidden by interspecies treaty. We call it the Dead Zone, a graveyard of stars and forgotten wars. It is also the declared territory of the Vex. They do not appreciate visitors. Your ship's computer flashes a dozen warnings. Navigational hazards, extreme radiation, known enemy patrol routes. The manual for this trip would be very short. It would probably just say don't. You ignore the warnings. You have your orders. Even if they are not exactly official. The first jump is always the hardest. A sickening lurch as reality twists around you. Then, silence. You are through. The view screen shows a terrifying emptiness. Black space punctuated by dying, red stars. Welcome to the Dead Zone. The tourist brochures must be stunning. Your passive sensors flicker. Faint energy trails. Vex patrols. They are far away for now. But they are out there. Watching the endless dark, the ghost's call pulls you deeper into the void. For 3 days, you follow its faint pulse. Your ship's AI, a calm voice named Ivy, marks the trail. Each jump is a gamble. Each moment stretches into a tense vigil. You live on bad coffee and growing dread. Then Ivy speaks. Her voice is level, unemotional. She has found the source of a massive debris field. It lies directly in your path. You approach with caution. The screen resolves into a nightmare. Shattered hulls drift in the silence, the remains of human starships. This was the Admiral's lost fleet, the 7th Battle Group, torn apart, shredded. The damage is not from plasma cannons or kinetic strikes. The metal is warped, peeled back like fruit. Something terrible happened here. Something the Vex do not advertise in their recruitment posters. You scan the wreckage for survivors. There are none, only silence and the cold ghosts of the dead. But there is something else. A single emergency beacon. It comes from a small frigate, the Orion. Its back is broken, but its armored data core is somehow intact. A faint hope in a field of death. You order Ivy to retrieve it. You bring the Orion's data core aboard. It is a black box of scorched metal, a tombstone for 1,000 souls. Ivy works for hours to bypass its security locks. The files are almost entirely corrupted, degraded by radiation and time. But you find one fragment, a single log. It is a science officer's report. He speaks of a discovery, something the Admiral found in a nearby asteroid belt. He called it an anomaly, an energy source unlike anything they had seen. The Admiral ordered them to set up a listening post. He became obsessed. The log cuts off there. The coordinates for the asteroid belt are still intact. It is your only lead. The ghost's call is gone. It was just a recording, a lure from the wreckage. You set a new course. Towards the asteroids. Towards the Admiral's obsession. The asteroid field is a chaotic storm of rock and ice. A navigator's bad dream. Ivy guides the stargazer through the deadly maze. Her calculations are flawless. You trust her more than any human pilot. Deep inside the cluster, you find it. A large, pockmarked asteroid. Something is drilled into its surface. It is an old listening post. Human design, but years out of date. It is dark, abandoned. You dock your ship and prepare to board. The airlock hisses open onto a scene of hasty departure. Tools are scattered. Data pads lie on the floor. They left in a hurry. Power is offline. You switch to your suit's lights. The beam cuts through the oppressive darkness. You find the main observation room. A massive viewport looks out into the star field. And in the center of the room, it sits on a pedestal. The source of the Admiral's fascination. It is a non-human artifact. A crystal of impossible geometry. It seems to drink the light from your torch. As you approach, it hums. A low, resonant sound that you feel in your bones. This was the source of the ghost signal. The Admiral did not send the call. The rock did. This changes everything. You are so focused on the strange artifact, you almost miss the alarm. A piercing shriek from your ship's proximity sensors. Ivy's voice cuts through the noise. Calm but urgent. She reports multiple contacts. They are decloaking all around you. You sprint back to your ship. The airlock cycles with agonizing slowness. On the bridge, the view screen shows your worst fears realized. 6 Vex ships. Not the small patrols from before. These are hunter-killers. Sleek, black daggers designed for one purpose. Your ship is a research vessel. They brought scalpels to a fistfight. They know you are here. They must have tracked your energy signature. Or perhaps they were waiting. The Vex open fire. Green lances of energy slice through the dark. Explosions blossom against your shields. Ivy screams damage reports. You are hopelessly outgunned. Your only chance is the asteroid field. You push the engines to their limit. The stargazer dives into the storm of rock. The Vex hunters follow. They are fast, agile. You weave through spinning mountains of stone. A deadly dance in the dark. It is a close thing. Too close. You escape. But your ship is wounded, bleeding atmosphere into the void. You limp away from the ambush. The Vex are gone for now. But your ship is a wreck. The hyperdrive is unstable. The port engine is failing. You need parts. You need a safe harbor to make repairs. There is only one option within range. A scavenger outpost called Port Nowhere. It is a haven for smugglers and outcasts. Not exactly a place for military personnel. But you are out of choices. You make the jump, praying the ship holds together. Port Nowhere is a hollowed-out asteroid, a wretched hive of scum and villainy. But today, it looks like paradise. You dock and begin assessing the damage. It is worse than you thought. You need a new power converter, a specific kind, military grade. You will not find one on the open market. But scavengers have ways of acquiring rare things. You head into the station's grimy cantina, looking for someone who trades in secrets and stolen tech. You find him in a shadowy corner. A Cathar, a tall, insect-like alien named Xylos. His species is known for 2 things: their sharp minds and their complete lack of morals. He listens to your request with multifaceted eyes. He knows the value of what you seek. Xylos claims to know these stars. He says he has seen strange things in the dead zone, ships that fit the description of the Admiral's fleet. He offers information. He can get you the parts you need. But his price is high. Trust is a currency out here, and you are about to go into debt. The deal is struck. A new power converter and the coordinates of the strange sightings, in exchange for your ship's entire supply of refined deuterium. Your fuel reserves. It is a steep price. It leaves you with just enough fuel for 1 or 2 jumps. But it is a price you have to pay. You watch your crew transfer the deuterium canisters. Xylos's loader droids haul them away. He gives you a data chip with the coordinates. And his people install the new converter. The deal feels wrong. Too easy. The scavenger's eyes gleam with something that is not friendship. Repairs are complete. You are preparing to depart port nowhere. Then the alarms go off again. The same proximity warnings as before. Ivy's voice is cold. Vex hunter ships, a new squadron. They are blockading the station's only exit. There is no doubt. Xylos sold you out. He took your fuel and called his Vex business partners. A classic double cross. They probably offered him a better price for your head. You learn a hard lesson in the cold math of space. Survival is a solo sport. You have to fight your way out. Again. Your ship is faster now with the new converter. You are not a warrior, but you are a survivor. You power through the blockade. Your point defense cannons spit defiance. Your shields flare and die. The hull groans under the assault. But you break through. You jump into the blackness, leaving the traitor and the Vex behind. You are alone again, adrift in the dead zone, with barely enough fuel to get home, let alone continue the mission. You look at the data chip Xylos gave you. It feels worthless. The ramblings of a liar, but you have nothing else. You tell Ivy to analyze the coordinates. Cross-reference them with your existing data. The Admiral's last known vector, the energy signature from the alien artifact, the flight path of the Vex hunters. You are looking for a pattern, a reason for all of this. Ivy works silently, her processors crunching trillions of data points. Then she finds it. The coordinates from Xylos were not a location. They were part of a sequence, a complex navigational puzzle. When combined with the other data, it reveals a hidden route. You stare at the star chart. The truth is laid bare. Admiral Valerius was not retreating. He was not running from the Vex. He was leading them, pulling them deeper into the dead zone. He was setting the board for some kind of final, cosmic game. His obsession was not madness. It was purpose. And you are now a piece in that game. The hidden route leads to a place not on any star chart, an uncharted nebula, a brilliant cloud of incandescent gas and dust. It glows with the light of newborn stars. It is beautiful, and it is deadly. The radiation here is off the scales. No ship should be able to survive this place for long. Yet the Admiral's trail leads directly into it. Ivy plots a path through the least hostile regions. Even so, your ship's hull begins to creak and groan. Your radiation shields are at 100%. This is a journey of no return. You push forward, deeper into the glowing heart of the storm. And there, hidden inside the nebula, you find it. A structure of impossible scale. A ring world built around a protostar. It is a massive, automated star forge, built by a race long vanished from the galaxy. It uses the nebula's raw materials to build something. This is where the Admiral was going. This was his secret weapon. As you approach the immense structure, it awakens. Lights flicker to life across its surface. A powerful energy signature flares from its core. A voice speaks directly into your mind. Not through comms. It is ancient, mechanical. It calls itself the Guardian. The Guardian has protected this forge for millennia. It does not recognize your authority. It does not care about your mission. It speaks of protocols and ancient laws. It says the forge is not a weapon. It is a tool of creation, a place of profound power, and it will not allow it to be misused. It tells you that Admiral Valerius came here 10 years ago. He was tested. He tried to convince the Guardian of his noble cause. He failed the test. The Guardian denied him access to the forge's true power. Now, it will test you. It demands to know your intent. You must prove yourself worthy of its secrets. This is not a battle of ships. It is a battle of wills. You open a channel. You speak to the machine intelligence. You do not ask for a weapon. You do not speak of victory over the Vex. You speak of balance. You speak of the threat the Vex pose to all life, an expanding, consuming plague. You argue that inaction is also a choice that allows destruction to win. You show it the data from the Admiral's wrecked fleet, the listening post, the Vex tactics. You show it everything you have learned. You are not here for conquest. You are here for answers. To finish what the Ghost Admiral started. The Guardian is silent for a long time, weighing your words, judging your heart. Then, it grants you passage. A section of the massive ring opens before you. A docking bay large enough to hold a fleet. The Guardian tells you the Admiral was worthy in spirit, but his methods were flawed. He sought to control the forge. You seek only to understand it. You have passed the test. You guide the stargazer into the cavernous docking bay. The air inside is breathable. The gravity is stable. You have entered a sanctuary hidden from the galaxy, and there, in the center of the bay, it rests, docked and silent, the legendary flagship of the 7th Fleet, the INS Revenant. It is larger than you imagined, a behemoth of war. Its hull is scarred from 1,000 battles. But it is intact, and it is changed. Strange, crystalline structures grow across its surface, like a metallic fungus. They pulse with a faint, internal light. The same energy you saw in the alien artifact. The ship is dark. It is silent, and it feels impossibly alive. You dock your small scout ship alongside the silent giant. An umbilical connects your airlocks. You prepare a boarding team. Just you and 2 security officers, armed with rifles and a heavy sense of foreboding. The Revenant's airlock opens with a sigh of ancient air. You step aboard the ghost ship. Emergency lights flicker, casting long shadows. The corridors are empty, silent as a tomb. Dust motes dance in the beams of your flashlights. There are no bodies, no signs of a struggle. It is as if the crew simply vanished. You make your way to the bridge, the heart of the ship. The command chair sits empty before the massive view screen. Power has been rerouted from the entire ship to this one spot. A single active terminal on the captain's console. It displays one file. Final log entry. Your heart pounds. You activate it. The screen flickers to life. The face of Admiral Valerius appears. He looks older, exhausted, but his eyes burn with an unholy fire. He stands on this very bridge. Behind him, the strange crystals are already growing on the walls. He begins to speak. His voice is a low rasp. He explains everything. The artifact was not a key to a weapon. It was a seed, a blueprint for a new form of existence. He realized humanity could not build a weapon to defeat the Vex. They are too numerous, too relentless. The only way to win was to change the rules of the game. He could not build a weapon, so he chose to become one. The final log shows him walking to the ship's engine room. He found the ship's core was compatible with the crystal's energy. He initiated a synthesis, a merging of man, machine, and alien technology. He did not die. He evolved. He became the ship. The log ends with a flash of brilliant light. An impossible truth hangs in the silence. Just as the Admiral's last words fade, the universe screams. Your ship's alarms blare across the umbilical. Ivy's voice is sharp with panic, massive energy signatures, dropping out of warp at the edge of the nebula. It is the fifth, not a hunter squadron. A full battle fleet. Hundreds of them. They tracked you. They followed you to their prize. The Forge. The Revenant. Your little scout ship is nothing. A gnat before a storm. The Vex fleet forms a blockade. A cage of warships around the nebula. There is no escape. You must make an impossible choice. Flee and doom the galaxy, or stay and place your faith in a ghost. The Guardian speaks in your mind again. Its voice is grim. It confirms the Vex fleet's strength. It tells you they will overwhelm the Forge's defenses. They will corrupt its power. They will turn this place of creation into an engine of death. There is only one path left. You must complete the Admiral's work. You must wake the sleeping god. The Guardian gives you the sequence. The process is insane. You have to channel your own ship's reactor core, all of its power, into the Revenant's modified engine. A full energy transfer. The feedback will be catastrophic. It will almost certainly tear the Stargazer apart. You look at your two security officers. Their faces are pale but resolute. You give the order. You are all that stands between the Vex and their ultimate victory. You race back to your ship, to its bridge. You tell Ivy to prepare for the transfer. She warns you of the consequences. A 97% chance of total reactor failure. You tell her to do it anyway. Some things are worse than dying. You align your ship. The umbilicals lock into place. The power conduits connect to the Revenant's core. On the main screen, the Vex fleet begins its advance. Red icons swarm towards your position. They begin to fire. Lances of green energy impact the nebula. The glowing gas recoils from their assault. You take a deep breath, and you give the final command. Begin the transfer. The Stargazer shudders violently. The lights flicker and die. The roar of your reactor fills the ship. It is the sound of a star being born and dying in the same instant. Consoles explode in showers of sparks. The hull screams as energy surges through it. The feedback loop hits. Your ship is being torn apart. But the transfer is working. Through the shaking viewport, you see the Revenant. The crystalline growths on its hull ignite. They glow with a blinding white light. The entire ghost ship is waking up. The energy readings are beyond comprehension. The first Vex ships enter the Forge. They open fire on the Revenant. Their weapons have no effect. The energy simply dissipates against its glowing hull. Your own shields fail. Your ship is helpless. A Vex destroyer lines up for the killing blow. Then it happens. A wave of pure energy erupts from the Revenant. Not a weapon firing. The ship itself. It is a tsunami of force and light. It washes over the Vex ships. They do not explode. They simply dissolve, erased from existence. The Ghost Admiral has returned. He is not a man in a machine. He is something more. The battle for humanity's future has just begun, and you are at its epicenter.